Hello and welcome to this channel. I am Dr. Anshu coming back with the today's Hindu editorial analysis. So let's have a recap what we are going to cover, starting our day with the thought of day that happiness is not something ready-made, it comes from our own actions. And today is the day, it's a World Epilepsy Day. So starting with the front page, the recap is the government opposition call for a changing collegium system cannot be compelled to join Sahyog portal X to Delhi High Court. Third is about the two groups of relations science dissociation forms SA welcomes move and the government drops the import duty on EV battery phone components. Next is government presented a 1 lakh crore budget for Delhi. Health education get lion's share. 50th editorial covering about the great abandonment of Afghanistan. Sixth editorial is about a bad woman for public trust in vaccines and the articles covering eliminating opponents. Seventh is about the CAG report tabled in Bihar, assembly flags flaws in government welfare underutilization. Eighth is about no comic relief and same related to the camera 6-7 days time to appear before Mumbai Delhi uploads a new video. Ninth is about why is the India approaches to citizens on the death row abroad. So let's starting today's Hindu editorial with the front page. So the government opposition's call for changing the collegium system. So the case is already going at the very long stage, like of changing of a government and opposition both are challenging for changing the collegium system. So the Vice President and Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar chaired a meeting of Rajya Sabha floor on a ladder on Tuesday in the context of recovery of half-burned Indian currency notes at the official residence of Justice Yashwant on March 14. So ground for another interventions by Parliament to the judicial appointments. So there is a need of alternative to present the collegium system for appointments, which the two sides of lack the transparency and leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha. So both are leader of opposition also meet and they are demanding for the removing the changing the collegium system with NJSC. It's NJSC bill is NJC Act is National Judicial Appointment Act that was already removed in the 2014 as had been struck down by Supreme Court and things have been different. So NJC bill ratified 16 assemblies as assented by the President in December 2014 and was struck down by Supreme Court in October 2015. So it was system was removed there from there. So they again appointment they again demanding for the NJC system. Next is about the cannot be compelled to join Sahyog portal exclusively. So there is a Twitter. There is a case that is of the Twitter that they cannot compel to join the Sahyog portal. Basically, the Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, now it is X. So it was demanding that this is a platform where the freedom of people is express their freedom of speech, and if they are merged with Center Sahyog portal, which aims to create a unified frame to combat cybercrime, arguing that it has own portal process valid legal. So they are demanding that there is also case of Shreya Singhal versus Union of India, and X argued that Sahyog portals falls the statutory scheme of Section 69A of IT Act, which empowers the government to order online platforms to block information in specific circumstances. So the portal would create a parallel mechanism existing under the section of IT Act, and also it evade without any procedures like safeguards. So it is X-Corp cannot be compelled with the Sahyog portal app. Already we have discussed about this Sahyog portal app, why there is a case that is filed in the Karnataka court. So next is about is the government drop import duty on EV battery phones components. So there is charges. So Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman Tuesday announced there is no import duties on 35 capital goods used to be electric vehicle and batteries, and 28 items used to make a mobile phones to boost the economic manufacturing. So it's a finance bill rationalization 25 was aimed at the domestic product, enhancing the export competition, reducing duties to raw material and inputs to making domestic product cost effective. So the finance bill 2025 relating to the custom aims for rationalizing the tariff. So the government moved 35 official amendment finance bill, including abolish to the 6% of a digital tax on the online advertisement during the lower house. So big step forward is the a very big step forward. The minister said importer would benefit while exporting industries came to the imports part and component would cost competitive. So announcement just came ahead of US and delegation arriving in India to carry the forward talks of President Donald Trump proposal imposing the reciprocal tariffs. So in next page we'll discuss about the government presented a 1 lakh crore Delhi budget. In next page we'll just have a go through it. Not so important, but I cover it. And the picture here is a soaring Mercury at that girl holding umbrella visiting a Taj Mahal on a Tuesday. So just tell me in comment when it is given the UNESCO heritage, in which year, and what type of architecture it is. Moving to the next, it's about the government present the 1 lakh crore budget for a Delhi health education gets lines here. So there is a finance portfolio allocation of a 5100 to provide 2500 monthly cash aid to women and 100 crore for 100 Atal canteens meals, where the 210 crores for which a scheme through the 1 lakh pregnant women would give a cash assistance up to 21,000 along 6 nutrient kits. So all the 3 initiative and manifesto. So now Rekha Gupta is the CM of Delhi, and she is a fourth female CM of that area. So after becoming a CM of Delhi, she has presented the budget of Delhi. So just have a go through it. What are the schemes where it is implemented? What is the for the free health care? Like it is a 2144 crore for health treatment, and 10 crore for Constitutional Welfare Board, 5 crore for Dr. B.R. Ambedkar stipend scheme. So just go through it one time. Next is the editorial about the great abandonment of Afghanistan. So it is a showdown in Oval Office between the United States President Donald Trump and Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky that subsequently development were watched everywhere, but they echoed loudest for Afghans around the world, many of whom live in exile. So the comparison of how US under the Mr. Trump and the former President Joe Biden lost interest, cut funding, pulled out the stakes, left it to rule by Talibanisms were evident. So reflection of present is like in September 2017. Just let me just go through the editorial. So the Mr. Trump shook the hands with the President Ashraf Ghani for a deal that would the US companies access to the rare earth minerals deposition in Afghanistan. So in July, so Afghanistan is important for their rich source minerals, as it's important country. And in deposition in Afghanistan in July 18, US officials began talk with Taliban directly without bringing the elected Ghani government on board. So virtually accepting the narratives of that Talibans were the representative of Afghanistan, extracting to no bidding commitments on political processes, terror camps, securing rights of us accord where the field complied to the Afghan government. So the years that has shown that the cost of compromises for a ceasefire was given through the regime, not so far recognized by any country, and more horrifying, it follows the 2 decades when such official restrictions did not exist, and upon utopia and the present clearly hell-like situation like exile in Spain to say rather than great game. So India has been teetering on the edges following the Taliban appointment ambassador into embassy in New Delhi, and but not supporting Republic Dominion either. After closing the embassy in Kabul 2001, India reported the technical mission in 22, engaging Taliban ministers with the level of Ministry of External Affairs, and they should be Taliban appointment ambassador to serve in Delhi and Dubai 2025 as far the Taliban minister. So engaging the 2.0, Narendra Modi government, especially Bharatiya Janata Party, political basis to overtures to the band of radical Islamists. Like first is one is like Taliban is here to stay and makes sense for India to come to terms with it. While some engagement with Afghan regime is inevitable, second tenure there is no reason to believe that Taliban grip is internal. Already reports indicate that tussle over the issue of girl education has grown. And according to reports, Sarabas Sanjgi Srijuddin Hadakali, who are both India's main interlocutors within Taliban, and also the US said when at the Chabar port will squeeze the Chabar port is very important. Just locate the in the map. It's neighboring countries also from which it is where it is located. The second explanation of India can help a common Afghan only that it is easily reputed between 1996 to 2001 India has kept some consignment of Afghanistan, and there is likely to be agencies to aid in any of refused to accept it from the India. Third is to explanation that India would lose strategic space in Afghanistan by not reopening its embassy where there are all countries in its neighborhood have. So Republic Strategic Partnership Afghanistan and the first intelligence sharing in the national Afghan security ANDC to best interest. New Delhi should worry instead of about losing mind space amongst the Afghan, and according to the Indian security establishment should be worried. So what is the reversing policy? So the reversing policy is like for all these regions, the government must study developing situation. Like Afghanistan is more closely reconsider any plans to allow it, and creeping the Taliban in embassy to in Delhi. So India should not shy away from allowing leaders to exile community to hold the conferences and forums of India to raise their voice for political representation inside, and without abandoning contact political spectrum if it wants to remaining in the eventually outcomes. So moving to the next is about a bad woman for a public trust in vaccines. So writer is telling about the trust issues in the how the public trust in vaccines like there is multiple petitions have been filed vaccines of COVID-19 vaccines, rabies vaccines, rotavirus vaccines admitted by courts, but they reflect the growing concerns related to how vaccines are approved or administered in India. So concern in petitions that it would be a mistake to dismiss that these petitions are a part of a larger anti-vax movement, which is a fueled primarily by the conspiracy theories, and one of the petitions was filed by group in Kerala group of complaint about the deaths caused due to alleged failure of anti-rabies vaccines, and other petitions are questions about the transparency of clinical trial data, inadequate disclosure of side effects of vaccine. So trust in regulator appears to be the Alzheimer's since the petitioner cases pertaining to rabies vaccines COVID-19, and courts are poorly placed to decide such issues. If history is an indicator, these cases will drag one for year poorly, and for years reason to the complicate the matters. Vaccine manufacturers such as Serum Institute, Bharat Biotech have gone spree filing defamations, ex parte interim injunctions, are not good for public health or credibility of India. But the trigger of many of these petitions have been opacity with which vaccines are approved as a drug regulators. This like Central Drug Standard CDSO makes key regulatory decisions independent. Second issue is regarding clinical trial data which form the basis of approval processes. Another issue raised is one COVID related petition is disclosure required to made, and form it is enough to government that such information to disclose information on some obscure formats. So a related issue is here putting in place a transparent form of vigilance system. So what is the issue of compensation is like the compensation is for those who lost a family members due to the side effects of COVID-19 vaccine. Like Kerala High Court in Sayeda versus Union of India case 2022 asked the government uh, to put the claims put a such policy to deal such claims, and government then approaches the final argument and also the claims of profited from vaccines. There are no reasons for a government step to provide the compensation and indemnification cause. Already we know the companies that meet the vaccines. Here I am just forgetting to put there. It was SAIL and Hindustan Limited. So the vaccines manufacturers, since the government make to refuse vaccine purchase agreement as indefinite clauses, bid for tender and save for compensation issues has been resolved by Ministry of to Health. The trust of the vaccines, and it would be behove in the Health Ministry causes the government to coordinate them as a policy response. So moving to the next article is about the elimination opponents. So it's about the state crackdowns of politics oppositions. Hardly now new president recap. Recep Tayyip Erdogan Turkey since coming to power in 2003 as a prime minister at a later assuming presidency and a revised constitution. Mr. Erdogan Development Party AKP have seen a little tolerance trend as government has systematically targeted the political opponents, journalist accusation largely stemming from the association of pro-Kurdish political group, and his arrest come just day before he was expected. So move was sparked a massive protest there. The show of public defiance. CHP held a primary open to general electorate. 15 million voters choosing Mr. Imamoglu. Meanwhile, has emerged as the most potent opposition figures years since winning of Istanbul majority 2009. He has helped the CHP national and prospects here. So in last year local elections out polling the AKP nationwide, while the Erdogan popularity has declined rampant. So future elections may one eliminate the most formidable rival, but at cost deepening of political division, further eroding public. So moving to the next is the CAG report of table in Bihar Assembly flags the flaws in government welfare plans underutilization. So CAG report for 20 year in March 31-22 presented on the Bihar Assembly on Tuesday has flagged the flaws in several state welfare schemes. Like there is a budget of provision of 22,576.32 crore. 18% of 4.3 was not utilized, and there was a crore not utilized and was surrendered to the state education department by universities, indicating unrealistic budget proposal. So in the Czech university, 57% teaching staff were lying vacant, registered 49 to 50%. So CAG basically the already the budget remains where the money has been used. So giving the detailed account of having inspections of the used money by the states, giving their reports here. From 2019, 246 crore has been transferred on the board of account, and treasures has not been transferred in bank account. Has prepared the budget during the financial year 27. There is a large accumulation of funds amounting 650.6 crore as March 31 said, flagging flaws in the implementation of a Need Nirmal Pariyojana, proved the piped water supply estimation, and the CAG report said as per project there are 3 batches of 1790 and has been, and however none of the batches is completed. So as PIP the world has been contributed approx 803.50% project due to the delays in implementation and less expenditure. So there is a Nirmal Pariyojana funds. It's a 64.21 crore has been diverted. Expenditure of 4.896 crore. Construction sub-divisional hospital Majul Begusarai could not yield any. Constructed building was deteriorated on being left abandoned. So these are the reports by CAG, Bihar government. Next is no comic relief, and the camera 6 to 7 days time appear before the Mumbai police upload new video. So the voluntary action. Sorry, just 1 minute. The violent reaction to comedian Kunal's satirical remark on Maharashtra Deputy CM Ekanath Shinde did not merely sign up rising intolerance, also highlight how intolerance can escalate beyond uh, police cases into the act of vandalism and open intimidation as aimed at asserting political dominance. Mr. Kamra used the word Gaddar in the parody of Hindi film song, and he is reported offhandedly. Mr. Sindh's supporter misplaced the retaliation. Group attacked Habitat, the studio where the Kamra is performing the show. The whole studio was messed up there. They was attacked by the mob, and there is also of threatening calls to him. The reporter says like that, and there should be also message of about apology from to the government, but he denied this um, for apology anything, that he said that already the Gadar word has been used previously. So it is Mr. Kamra is under the provision of BNS Bharati Nyaya Samhita related to promoting enmity and causing public mischief, as well as defaming charges only initiated on aggrieved party and not by the police. So in the now familiar police, the power being weaponized conveniently discovered the unauthorized structures and information report against Mr. Kamra addressed divisive speech. Maharashtra government is now demanding a public apology from Kamra, so which he has denied, expressed his willingness to cooperate with any lawful investigation. Incumbent the invocation of hurt sentiments to justify violent loyalty using had gone too far, and increasingly such claims become a legitimized mob attacks undermining. So these are happening there. So Kamra 67 days, 7 days of 7 days time to appear Mumbai police. He has denied for any lawful investigations, and receive the presentation, and the substantial will let you know that something has happened. So Mr. Kamra uploaded video in social media on Tuesday, new visual of vandalism including a background score of the song which was a part of previous parody. A part of the video is 1.6 minute. Hum honge kamyab ek din, we shall be one day. So the visual of vandalism at Habit Studio and Mr. Kamra at the burning of his effigy. Next is about what is the Indian approaches of citizens on a death row abroad. So already there is a case about Shahzadi Khan, an Indian national sentenced to death in UAE for alleged murder of infants. So how it is carried, like the Ministry of Confirmation has came with a response of a petition filed by the father Sabir Khan in less than a week, and the ministry confirmed that two more Indian nationals convicted in separate cases were also executed in UAE. So how many are on death row abroad? So as per data of ME, Rajya Sabha on March 20, there is a 49 Indians. Yes, 49 Indians are currently on death row, and number of Indian awarded death sentence by foreign court is highest. UAE, 25 in Indian national are waiting for sentences. So ME replies to Rajya Sabha that Indian mission abroad provide all the possible justices to India sentences by high court, and ME approaches the cases like Talmiz Ahmad, India former ambassador, Oman, UAE, Arabia, and three process. Second is prolonged judicial processes. There is a third element, pardon by ruler, sometimes is a death row, which means completed, and judicial process has been completed, and judges has announced the only thing that is available to embassy. So the appeal pardon is made by family member accused, and the petition is brought to the foreign office requesting it brought to ruler attention. So in many Gulf countries, sentences are commuted, exchange for blood money. Blood money also refers to the compensation paid to victim family, alternative retribution. So how can the embassy do more? Like death sentences are given in very exceptional cases such as a murder, rape, treasons. So in countries which have an authoritarian system, which have nearly no transparent judicial processes such as Saudi Arabia, India embassy is not informed about the arrest of judicial processes. The embassy receives a formal note about death of Indian embassy role in further limited when accused confesses to crime circumstances. On the other hand, countries relatively open judicial system, embassy can nominate the welfare. So as India entered successful in past, Qatari government has released the following Indian government diplomatic efforts and sentenced to death in 2025 by Tangling court intervention. So these are the Gulf countries committed for exchange for blood money. So these all for today. Tomorrow we'll meet with a news editorial. Let's have a summary and ending this session. So front page is about the today's day is 26 March World Epilepsy Day. Second, front page is covering about the government opposition call for changing collegiate system and cannot be compelled to join the Sahyog portal. Next to Delhi High Court. Next is about the government drops import duty on EV phone battery and government pressure 4 lakh crore Delhi budget. For the government present 1 lakh crore budget for the health education lines here. Fifth is about the great abandonment of Afghanistan. Sixth is about the bad woman for public trust in vaccines and eliminating opponents. Seventh is about the CAG report tabled in Bihar Assembly flags of flaws in government welfare plans and underutilization. And 8 is about no comic relief for Kamra. And 9th is about the what is Indian approaches citizen on death row abroad. So that's for today. Stay connected for a tomorrow editorial. And if you are visiting first time to my channel, just spare some time to see the contents. If you like it, just give the feedback and review. It's mattered a lot to me. And just subscribe to the channel. If you like the content, you will get updated with the new notifications of our Hindu editorial. Till now, thank you. Study well.